first step says marrying your brother's widow.
Yeah, okay, I'm back. This is part 2 of Henry VIII Oversimplified.
His special permission. Hey, can I please have my son marry his brother's widow?
No.
Sure, why not?
What? You mean the Pope allowed that?
Moved to the royal court.
That's crazy.
But tragedy struck when just a few months later, his mother, with whom he was very close, suddenly died in childbirth. The loss of his mother almost certainly had a big effect on the young boy. In his older years...
advertisement. So... Man... I can't believe that the Pope would allow that. Would allow the brother of the late groom to marry the widow. Like, that's just wrong. That it's too weird. Man. That is horrible. Oh, anyways, I had to change hoodies because I was just uncomfortable with that one. So, anyways, yeah, I'm back. Let's just continue on.
King Henry VII went on a bit of a paranoid trip. As was normal for a king at the time, Henry VII had to quell a number of rebellions, and as he aged, he became ever more suspicious of the nobility around him. To keep them in check, he began levying huge, ruinous fines.
What?
Right and center. Dukes, bishops,
really?
Captains, even his own mother. No one.
His own mother? Really? Henry VII? Come on, we man! Ugh. Jeez almighty. Trying to figure out what kind of cookies are you eating? Oh wait, that's your son. Never mind. Let's continue on.
And the nobility of England began to suffer. So when Henry VII...
Yeah, of course it would suffer because of that.
Just after Christmas 1508, there was a lot of celebration.
Okay. First off, we get it that Henry VII was tyrannical. I don't know why I'm speaking with that type, with this voice, but I just can't help it. This is mad. But a celebration? Especially after Christmas. Holy smokes.
Not only because the tyrannical Henry VII was gone, but because his replacement was the ever-popular, charming, and handsome 18-year-old King Henry VIII.
Oh,
Henry
he was
married
18.
Catherine of Aragon in June 1509.
Oh my god. Oh. I suspect that is when the wife killings began. Henry VII. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
You may be wondering, if it's so weird to marry your brother's widow, and since he's now king, couldn't Henry just decide not to?
Exactly. Why not?
Well, yes, he could, but by now, Henry wanted to. The thing about Henry that was unlike many kings of...
Diplomatic marriage, diplomatic marriage, diplomatic marriage, diplomatic marriage, diplomatic marriage, diplomatic marriage. Ugh. The essence of King Henry VII is still around. Very bad.
At the time, was he married for love, and he had grown quite fond of Catherine. Very fond. Historians say that...
Those pencil stroke eyebrows. Not very royal.
Their marriage was unusually good, and so he was coronated king. And what a king. Compared to his tyrannical father, he was an absolute joy. Having the blood of two royal houses, he was widely...
Oh, that explains it. House of Lancaster, House of York, House of Tudor. Oh, man. Tudor, Liz, Henry, Mary. Kings and queens of the Tudor era. British monarchy. Oh, what a time.
Supported. He was really, really ridiculously good looking, and those famous calves could achieve world...
Okay. No need to see the royal undergarments. No, thank you.
Peace. Hey, Henry, now that you're king, you know what that means. Costume party! Henry pranced around the palace playing dress-up with his friends. He wrote plays. He sang songs. He danced. A true Renaissance man, very different from the gluttonous wife killer we think of today. In his
And didn't Louis XIV ever become the Sun King? All because he would dress up as the sun and dance around in the sun costume? Ugh, I gotta cut it with these accents. Sorry, but I just can't help it. Someone in the comments please explain if that was true. King Louis XIV was known as the Sun King and would dress up as the sun and dance around in it.
early reign, people from near and far would come to ask favors of the generous king. Hey man, could I gain ownership of some land near Upton Snodsbury? Sure thing, pal. Hey, could I be an earl or a baron or a viscount or something? Anything you want, man. Could I get, just a really cool pig that has, freaking metal wings and 8 legs and shoots flippin' lasers and it can grow more pigs out of it for extra pigs? Say no.
Sir, why would you want a pig that can do all of these elements you have listed? That does not exist. Sorry.
Hey, guys, I was just checking up on the financial report and what the hell? We can't afford this.
Yeah, of course we can't afford. Yeah, sorry, the camera cut. I forgot to release some storage from this tablet that I've been using ever since the beginning of this channel from 7 years ago. Wow, time has flown by, and this still is very useful. But anyways, as I was saying, of course you can't afford that. It doesn't even exist. Henry VIII, Henry VIII. You let all the money go to waste. Pounds? Oh, surely.
Henry's council that he inherited from his father weren't happy with all the money he was just throwing around, and they worked hard to curb the king's spending. Since they controlled the royal seals needed to get stuff done, at first they were largely able to control the young king. And for Henry, the most infuriating things of all was they wouldn't let him joust with his friends because it was too dangerous, nor would they let him do the thing he wanted most, to go on a great, glorious, and expensive conquest against England's historic enemy, France. Please guys, I'll keep it cheap. How? I'm glad you asked. I've got a promo code.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. King Henry VIII, promo codes did not exist back then. Or did they? I don't know. Anyways, this is another, I guess this is the advertisement. I'll try to skip as much as I can.
For the financial burden of war? Yes. Honey is the free browser extension that automatically finds promo codes when you shop online. Imagine you're on one of your .com/OverSimplified.
Sorry, I had to skip
and you'll
it.
also be supporting my channel. So thank you. Now, where were we? Oh yeah.
Back to Henry VIII.
Excessive spending.
Again, we didn't really need to see the Down Under. We just don't need that.
And war with France. Henry wanted glory. He wanted to go down in history. If he didn't go to war in France, was he even the King of England? Man, I want to go to war so bad, but the council won't let me. Hey, maybe I can help with that. Whoa, it's Cardinal Wolsey, one of my best friends, despite being an old-ass man. Cardinal Wolsey said that if he helped King Henry, there'd likely be something in it for him. So what was his great, intricate plan to curb the council's power? You're the king, dum-dum. You can do whatever you want. What? Wolsey began writing bills that didn't require the seals.
You clearly have not even thought of that.
Wolsey began to climb the ranks, and he became something of a yes-man for King Henry, encouraging Henry to frolic and...
Yeah. He's too much of a yes-man. Haven't we figured that out already?
Play while Wolsey took care of business.
The Pope.
Kid, you want to go on an adventure? Do I ever? The Pope was at war with France and he needed some help. He offered the young, impressionable King Henry 100 Parmesan cheeses, some wine, and a golden rose.
Is that what was counted as currency at that time? I guess that's where the gluttony happened, is it?
If he came to the Pope's aid, and Henry was all in.
You had me at cheese?
He still respected the church and loved the Pope. And here was the chance for war he had been waiting for. He still didn't have an heir, a fairly big problem for a monarch at the time. But right now, the only...
Oh, come on. And is that where the wife killings came to play?
The kind of smashing he was interested in was smashing French guys in the face. And so off he went.
Ow.
The English already held the French city of Calais. From there, Henry made a glorious victory at the Battle of the Spurs. He took the French cities
Battle of the
Terouenne
Spurs?
and Tournai. Word of his victory spread. This was it. Here was the glory he had been waiting for. Back home, his beautiful wife also led armies to victory in Scotland. And better yet, she was pregnant. Soon, Henry would...
A flying pig. Shooting lasers. I said that does not even exist. Ugh. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways.
Would have an heir. All of Henry's wildest dreams were coming true. Oh, he ran out of money. As the French prepared to invade Italy, all Henry could do was go home. Well, at least now I have an heir to cheer me up. Bring me my son. Henry, this is Mary. Mary? That's a funny name for a boy. Henry, it's a girl.
Man. I can't imagine any members of the royal family making that face. Sir, your eyes are a bit wonky. Sorry, Alright, let's continue. Which Mary was born? Mary Queen of Scots, or is it? I think.
This was Catherine's 5th pregnancy.
5th pregnancy? Oh my goodness. Stillborn, died in infancy, and stillborn? Poor Catherine of Aragon. That's gotta take a mental toll out of her.
That had not resulted in a male heir. Happy Henry wasn't so happy anymore.
We see that.
Given me a male heir. Well, how do you know it's my problem? Maybe it's your problem, Henry. It couldn't be my problem because I've been boinking half your maidstaff and
Henry the Eighth. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
One of them gave me a boy. Sure, yeah.
It is your fault.
You know what? Maybe it's my problem. I'll look into that. Cardinal Wolsey, now Henry's Lord Chancellor, knew his job depended on keeping Henry happy, and so he said, well, if you can't be the great warrior, then how about the great peacemaker? Not as cool, but okay. And so the Field of the Cloth of Gold, a glamorous peace summit between England and France, was held. The King of France, Francis I, was essentially the French version of King Henry, and the whole thing was basically one giant cod piece measuring contest.
Oh, come on. Why is this about the cabs? Jeez. two kings battling out for that! Ugh.
The two sides did agree to a peace treaty. However, it didn't last long. You see, there was a third major player in European politics at the time, an exquisite specimen of royal inbreeding, an heir to a huge inheritance, and a chin that could hit a home run.
A chin? A chin? Charles V, the Roman Emperor. Ugh. Oh, man. Ugh. That chin is a lethal weapon.
He was Henry's wife's nephew.
What? Royalty to a royalty, which would spawn a whole new line of royalties. Jeez. Now this is confusing.
Henry had helped him out in the past to put down a Spanish rebellion, and now the two wanted to make an alliance, and so a marriage was arranged. Mary, I'd like to introduce you to your 22-year-old fully grown adult cousin, and now your future husband.
This is too weird. Oh my goodness. I don't think I can handle this. Ugh. But then again, it's from a different time period, and so I shouldn't be expecting anything that crazy. Well, it is crazy. It is crazy. This is getting me flustered.
Ew, he looks inbred. Mary, we're all inbred.
That's an understatement.
With their new alliance, Charles and Henry agreed to team up and relaunch a campaign against France. In 1522, the English landed and stormed as far south as Agincourt, but Charles didn't commit significant forces.
Killed 10 score in Agincourt? Or was that Henry V? 1415 Agincourt. Magna Carta signed at 12:15. 12:15. Send it down here, King John. Fish and chips, anyone?
Whoops, sorry man, not sure what happened. I'll join in next year. The next year, England swept northern France, almost taking Paris. But once again, where was Charles? Oh man, I'm so sorry. I promise, next year, I'll be there.
Oh, so he's a no-show. Okay, then.
The next year came, and a fed-up Henry decided he was going to sit this one out. And just as Charles ravaged the French at the Battle of Pavia and captured the French king. Holy crap, dude. Yeah, I totally kicked France's butt. That's great. So, can I have the French throne like we agreed? No.
Oh, man. Here's some more bloodshed.
What? And also, I don't want to marry your ugly daughter anymore.
Well, I mean, you are older than her, and she's not even at age yet.
Ugly? Have you seen your chin? Mummy says it's a strong chin for a strong boy. As Henry's alliance with Charles fell apart, Henry knew his days as a warrior were over. This was a problem for Henry, but it was a bigger problem for his wife. Catherine of Aragon had two jobs. The first was to give Henry a male heir, but the second was to maintain an alliance with her relatives in Spain, including her nephew. She had failed, and Henry's sexy eyes began to wander. Home from all his wars, Henry ate up his daily 5,000 calories of meat as an infatuation began to grow.
Jeez. Is that how his eating style was? His eating habits were? That's crazy.
For one of his wife's ladies in waiting, Anne Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn.
Intelligent,
Oh, yeah.
cultured. She was exactly Henry's type. Now, Henry had had dozens of mistresses, including Anne's sister. But Anne didn't want...
Oh! That is messed up. Come on, Henry VIII. Come on. So disappointed!
To just be Henry's side chick. She wanted to be his queen. Henry sent dozens of letters, thirsty love poems. In one, he proclaimed that he would like to kiss her pretty duckies.
What? I do not want to know what that is supposed to mean. No one should either.
but Anne kept him at just the right distance to drive him crazy and push him to find a way to get rid of his current wife. Wolsey, I want a divorce. And as the representative of the Pope here in England, I expect you to sort it out quickly and quietly. I don't want this to turn into a Europe-wide scandal. You got it, Your Majesty.
Hey, Big Papa! My boy Henry says he wants to divorce his wife. Any chance?
Something tells me that word just got out. Anyways, yeah, that was part 2, actually. So, yeah, I'll just combine those 2 separate videos together, and that'll give me over the 20-minute mark. So, anyways, this has been a wacky road trip with King Henry VIII. Stay tuned for part 3. See you guys there. Peace.